Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about introduction to basic laboratory apparatus. When it comes to laboratory, there are some kind of skills that students are expected to have, and these skills not only will help them to know how to handle the equipment. There are two critical skills that anybody working in the lab or each student is required to acquire before working in the lab or before carrying out an experiment in the lab. Number one is competence. Secondly is accuracy. And so it is expected that each student or anyone trying to carry out an experiment in the lab must have these two basic critical skills: competence and accuracy. But also it will help in their results because it makes their result to be accurate. And each student is also required to be competent to handle any of these apparatus in order not to get injured and also not to lead the department or the university into losses by breaking the apparatuses. Lab apparatus is subdivided into volumetric vessels, we have non-volumetric vessels, we have special purpose, then we have instruments. Now coming to volumetric vessels, these are vessels that are kind of calibrated, they are graduated, they have digits assigned on their body, they have 1, 2, 3, depends on the size, okay? And these apparatuses cannot be heated. You don't subject them to heat in order not to change the standard, the accurate volume of those equipments, all right? And this is because of what we call linear expansivity. Now, once you subject them to heat, there is every tendency that the vessel will increase in size and also contract when it's kind of cold, and that affects the accuracy of that particular vessel. Now, the examples include pipettes. Pipettes cannot be subjected to heat, and you know what pipette is used in the lab. It's used to draw liquids from bottle or from anywhere you're working with, and it's also calibrated. We have 20 ml and we have 25 ml. It depends. Now, burette is majorly used, in fact, even in high schools when you are trying to do acid-base titration. You're trying to standardize an acid or base. You normally use your burette. Now, volumetric flask. Volumetric flask is also calibrated. It comes with either round bottle or flat bottle, depends. And also they are kind of calibrated. They have measurements. They can be 250 ml, they can be 500, they can be 1000 ml. It depends, and we normally use this to in the lab to mix chemicals that of exact volume. When you're asked to get 250 ml of an acid, you normally use volumetric flask. Now we have measuring cylinder. Yeah, when you're asked to get 10 ml of this substance, use 10 ml of this solvent, use 10 ml, 20 ml, or 50 ml, or 100 ml. We use measuring cylinder to measure the exact volume of the liquid you need. And all these volumetric vessels are not subjected to heat. This is very, very important. Now moving down to non-volumetric vessels, these ones are vessels, but they are not calibrated. You can talk of your test tubes, you can talk of beakers, you can talk of funnels, you can talk of flasks. Now a beaker is kind of calibrated because we have 20 ml, we have 250 ml. But because beakers in the lab are frequently used to heat up solvents in the lab, so we don't normally categorize beakers or conical flasks, as the case may be, as volumetric flasks because of the excessive use of them in the lab for heating process. Now these ones can be heated. Most times you heat your test tubes when you want to do your metal, test for metals. You heat your test tubes, you can heat your beakers, and also we have other types of non-volumetric vessels. Most of them come as wool, they come as plastics, they come as glasswares. It all depends. And so Coming to special purposes, just as the name implies, this equipment is designed to carry out specific functions in the lab. You have your fume cupboard. This is normally where you perform in every hazardous reactions. When it comes to mixing your acid with base, you do this in fume cupboard, because fume cupboard has a vacuum that kind of extracts all the precipitates outside the environment. Okay, we have your weighing balance. It's just for weighing. It comes as an analytical weighing balance and normal digital weighing balance. We have your KIPS apparatus. This is normally used when you want to capture gas in the lab. You have your Sucklet apparatus. Sucklet apparatus is an assemble of different equipment. They are kind of assembled together. Where you have your distiller, you have your flask, you have your chamber. So all these are mixed together and they form this apparatus. You can also assemble them and disassemble them. You have your desiccator. Desiccator is normally used when you want to preserve your samples in the lab, if you don't want them to have contact with the outside environment. And also when you want to drain your samples. Instruments, these are very, very essential in the lab. These ones are kind of sophisticated instruments, because they measure in very minute volume. They measure traces of substances. They are very, very sophisticated and very, very active. Right? You can see UV visible. You have UV visible. You also have IR. Forgot to mention this. You have IR. This is infrared. You have UV visible. You have mass spectrometry. You have gas chromatography. You have infrared. Thank you so much for watching. This is just the basic introduction to basic laboratory apparatus. Thank you for watching, and if this is your first time of coming across my page, click on the subscribe button. See you in my next video.